Fringe transform Minneapolis?
I think as an executive director, what this festival has meant to this city, I think it has meant a really freaking fantastic 11-day playground that it brings people who don't think they're artists to come be artists.
I think that doing the one-person, 1-hour show that I did for the Fringe was great for my self-esteem.
You know, and being in the theater community at that time, I saw like, oh, this is, if this stays, if this really takes off, this is going to transform this community, and it has.
It seems obvious to us now what the Fringe does. Number one, it builds community.
Like, there's so many theaters, companies in this town that just didn't exist before the Fringe Festival, and so the opportunity for theater practitioners because of the Fringe, it just. I just see like, hey.
As far as an identity, it was about the culture of the people who care about it.
Well,
right?
and I think the fact that both you and I moved here from completely different places, you know, that you moved here from California and I moved here from Denver, and the fact that we were both relatively new to Minneapolis, St. Paul, I think that we saw it in such a different way because we had come from such radically different places than that.
Yeah.
And that it was a community that we loved.
Yeah, for me it was part of why I stayed living here.
Yeah.
You know, so for me in some ways it defined what made the Twin Cities art scene magic to me. You know, and so I think we spent a lot of time going, what is that?
Yeah, and so I think that a lot of like what the Fringe, like the identity of the Fringe, at least in my head, has been, it's sort of this idealized version of what Minneapolis is at its best. Like,
but it also creates this, there's so much theater and so much dance in this city, and so much performance. And I think before Fringe, there was the theater community, and then there was the theater community, then there was the theater community, then there was the dance community, and the performance community. And I think what Fringe has created is a little 11-day armistice where everyone can come and play, and everyone can mix and mingle and work stuff, and you can cross lines and you can go anywhere you want to go. And I think that has led to some collaborations and some rearranging of groups that has been really, really great.
But the audience, I mean, the audience is so invested in everything that happens in the Fringe that I really think it sort of solidifies your sense of this community in a positive way.
It gives performers another avenue, a step on the ladder.
It was like a breaking point for me, and you know, I got to the point where I thought, I can do this.
Fringe is where I found just my confidence to be both somebody who could hold an audience's attention for 45 minutes and somebody who could write dialogue. I would have floundered for a lot longer and just, I don't know, I might have quit altogether by this point.
Well, for me, I wouldn't be living here, and I wouldn't be married to my wife, Megan Odell, and I wouldn't have, well, that tends to happen. We have two kids. Thank you, Leah Cooper. She can babysit whenever she wants.
Gives you a chance to figure out what you want to do theatrically to have an audience. I think it just would have been a much longer struggle to find find an audience, and you need that audience, that interaction. You need some audiences to hate your guts, you know, and a place to come back, because it's not, you get to buy your way back in, even if they hate you that second time. So other places, they hate you the first time, and you might learn from it, but you don't sell any tickets, and you can't come back.
It's really been a place since 04, 05, and through. I did a lot of teen shows as well, like 07, 08, and 09. A place to experiment, and a place to do things. I guess, I mean, I wouldn't say I do things differently at the Fringe than I do normally when I'm not at the Fringe, but just, I know that I can push the envelope a little bit more and experiment a touch, but it's also allowed me to just develop as an artist. And I think whenever I'm having success in the theater, which is, you know, hit and miss sometimes, I owe a lot to the Fringe as a place where I've been able to, like, you know, learn by doing a lot.
I wouldn't have met my wife. My wife and I met through the Fringe in 2006. I spent about 3 years on the road touring with a show in their backup band. That I met through the Fringe. That wouldn't have happened. I would not have become a performer. I probably would have stopped writing long ago and would have probably still been in my corporate job as a knowledge analyst, which was my title. You can just imagine for yourself what that was. But yeah, I would definitely, I can unequivocally say I would not be pursuing anything in any kind of art medium if it was not for this festival.
About 10 years ago, I was one of those writers who was really struggling. I was not in a good place, professionally or personally, and I was doing that thing where I was doing the bulk mail-outs to all of the different theaters and getting all the rejections, and it was, and I discovered the Fringe, and it truly did transform my life. I mean, it's really the very existence of Fringe, and I'm talking about myself here because I don't think my story is unusual. I think there's a lot of artists who have found themselves in that struggling position and who have who the Fringe has given them something that wouldn't exist otherwise. And I just want to express for myself and for the people like me that I truly appreciate the time and energy and vision that you extended at a time it could not have been easy to extend it to build this asylum for all us lunatics. And I really wanted to.
That's probably the reason I did it.
It's worthwhile. I think it's worthwhile for all of us.
Well, that's good.
I want you to know that.
That makes my efforts worthwhile. Truly.